You want to be successful on your first attempt of doing your skills test when you're doing CNA training with TMU headmasters. Stay here and you're going to learn how to do it correctly on your first attempt. Now, it's more than one way to do any and everything. Here at my facility, the way we do skills, I use a colored barrier. But doesn't mean that when you go somewhere else you're going to use a colored barrier. I use the colored barrier just so my students know that there's a barrier that got to be on that table. It could be a white barrier, it can be paper towel, it can be a bath towel, but you have to have something on this table at all times when you're doing skills. There's no one side way to do skills. Everyone learns differently, and I'm just going to go over a couple of techniques of how you do skills. Today I'm going to focus on catheter care. So I'm going to come to you with the skills for catheter care. So stay right there and I'll be right back with you. What do you need when you're doing the skill? Well, we're doing catheter care, and I'm going to just show you the various ways when you're getting your supplies that you need. The first thing you're going to do is hand sanitize before you start any of your skills. You start with hand sanitizing, definitely for headmasters. So what do you need? You need a wash basin, you need soap, you need gloves. For this particular skill, I put 3 face towels out. One to wash, one to rinse, one to dry the catheter. And then I used a bath towel to be the barrier over the patient when you're doing the care. That is one way to do your catheter care. The next way you may see it be done, you'll see it with a Chuck's pad on the table. Again, you're still going to have your wash basin. You're going to have 2 face towels, one to wash, one to rinse. You got your soap, you got a bath towel, and maybe you use a towel to dry the catheter. Again, there's no wrong way to do catheter care. I just want to go over the different ways that you may see it be done when you go to do your skills. Here's another way that you can set it up. You may put a bath towel on the table. Again, you're going to still have your soap, your towels, one to wash, one to rinse, a bath towel maybe to dry, or even that 3rd face towel. You're going to have your gloves, and you're going to do your skill. Again, there's no wrong way to do skills. You just have to make sure when you get there that you perform the skill. How is the skill to be performed? The last one I'm going to put here is how you do it with paper towel. Now, if you wanted to do this skill, it's the same thing, no different. You would still perform your skill the same way. Catheter care, I got 3 face towels. One to wash the face, one to wash the catheter, one to rinse the catheter, one to dry the catheter. So when you're doing that skill, you're going to wipe that skill. You're going to hold at the urethra, right? On any of these skills, the skill is still the same. You're going to hold it at the urethra at the exit, and you're going to wipe 3 to 4 inches, and you're going to let the proctor know that you're wiping it 3 to 4 inches. And you're going to wipe it a minimum of 2 times. I usually just teach my students 3 times. It's just an easy number in my head. I don't know why. But you have to wipe a minimum of 2 times. So when you're doing it, and I also go over the technique of how you use your face towel. I call it my bouquet method. So when you're holding at the urethra, I hold this in my non-dominant hand, and I pull the other ones back. I hold the catheter with my non-dominant hand. I'm going to hold it at the exit of the urethra, and I'm going to wipe down 3 to 4 inches, and I'm going to make sure that I tell my proctor I'm wiping 3 to 4 inches so that there's no misunderstanding. She understands that you're wiping 3 to 4 inches. I'm going to take my hand off of the catheter from the urethra, pull that one back, open up another one, and I use my 2 fingers and kind of cuff it that way. Again, put my hand back on the urethra, wipe 3 to 4 inches, holding at the urethra so that the catheter does not dislodge. I'm going to do it again. Again, you only have to do it 2 times, but I teach my students 3 times. Again, I'm going to hold it again, make my little 2 fingers, hold it with my non-dominant hand, and I'm going to wipe 3 to 4 inches. I'm going to do the same thing in the rinsing process, and then I'm going to pat dry. If you like these videos, I'm going to just bring you different ways to do skills on a daily basis so that you're successful your first time around on doing skills. Thank you and have a nice day.